New updates. Chief of Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn just confirmed that the man found dead on hospital grounds was a worker at the prison who got caught in an altercation among inmates.
Y'all, something fishy is going on in the Epstein case, and things are about to get nasty. See, a prison worker was found on the grounds of Metropolitan Detention Center with multiple stab wounds, and this wasn't just any employee. This was the man who allegedly claimed he helped swap Ghislaine Maxwell out of prison. Yeah, that Ghislaine Maxwell. For months now, people have been side-eyeing how Maxwell has been moving through the federal system. From the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn to cushier facilities, special treatment at FPC Bryan, puppies, concierge-style perks, all while serving time for some of the worst crimes imaginable. It already felt off. But then this whistleblower comes forward, saying the woman behind bars wasn't even her. He claimed that he was part of the team that helped orchestrate a swap, and that a body double was paid to serve the sentence. And before he can fully spill, he's dead. Officials say it was an inmate fight gone wrong. Critics are calling it a cleanup job. And when you stack that on top of the suspicious transfers, the political meetings, the sudden upgrades in prison life, and the timing of everything, it stops feeling random. It starts feeling coordinated. And if this goes where people think it does, then what's happening behind those prison walls is way bigger than anyone wants to admit. Let's break it down. I swear, every time we start to think that the conspiracy theories surrounding Ghislaine Maxwell are too insane to be real, we find out that the theories were, in fact, not crazy. And now, some evidence just popped up suggesting that the woman who has been in prison since 2021 was not Ghislaine Maxwell. Sources are saying that she was allegedly swapped out of prison and has been living a free woman while her body double does her time. And what's especially chilling is that there was a report a couple of weeks ago about a whistleblower who worked in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. The whistleblower was said to have worked in the prison around the same time that Ghislaine was held there. According to the reporter that he reached out to, he claimed to have some receipts about how the woman who was being held in prison was not Ghislaine. Under the claims of anonymity, he claimed that he was a part of the team that helped swap Ghislaine out with another woman. Allegedly, the other woman got paid a lot of money to serve Ghislaine's time for her. Like I said, this sounds insane, but when you think about it, every single thing about Ghislaine being in prison doesn't make sense. For one, she is getting some super duper special privileges in prison. For someone who is convicted of some of the most horrible crimes you can commit, she is being treated like all she did was get a citation for jaywalking on an empty street. For example, she only spent about 18 months at the Metropolitan Detention Center before being transferred to a low-security federal prison, Federal Correctional Institution, Tallahassee, Florida. To be fair, before her sentencing, she did complain that she had gotten threats from some of the staff at the prison and claimed that she was scared for her safety. Then, in August last year, she was moved again from the Tallahassee prison to a minimum security federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas. And girl, when I tell you that she is living the life in prison, she pretty much still has the same lifestyle that she had when she was a free woman. According to reports, some of the perks that she gets in prison include unlimited 3-ply toilet paper. While other inmates in the low-security prison have to make do with 2 rolls per week, she can have as much toilet paper as her heart desires. Oh, but it gets even fancier than that. According to a letter by Congressman Jamie Raskin, FPC Bryan Warden Hall has heaped favorable concierge-style treatment on Ms. Maxwell since her bizarre arrival at the institution, including special meals, access to technology, puppies to play with, and special use of the exercise facilities. Getting to play with puppies while in prison for these nasty crimes is wild, but it gets even more bizarre. Some of her emails were leaked a few weeks ago, and she was bragging about how good she had it. In one email, she wrote, "The food is legions better than at the facility in Florida. The place is clean, the staff responsive and polite. I am much, much happier." The fact that she is getting so many perks has rubbed people the wrong way, and the U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi, came under fire during a session. Take a listen.
Attorney General Bondi, I think you and pretty much everybody else here and throughout the country believes that convicted sex offenders don't deserve special treatment or privileges in prison. And yet Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, received perk after perk in prison. We've heard reports that she's been afforded special privileges, puppy time, private workouts, personal mail, secretarial services. Attorney General Bondi, does a convicted sex offender like Ghislaine Maxwell deserve special treatment and privileges in prison? Yes or no?
Let me be crystal clear on this. No.
There were rumors that the reason she was transferred to the Texas facility is that she made some sort of deal with President Trump. Y'all know how Trump was named multiple times in the files? Well, according to reports, Ghislaine met with someone from Trump's team not long before she was moved. According to this report, it's not entirely clear why she was transferred out of the prison, but it may have had something to do with a visit paid to her in July by Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, who was previously Trump's personal defense attorney. The chat between Blanche and Maxwell was recorded and released to the public. And what do you know? Maxwell was emphatic that she never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. She was moved from the Florida facility within days. So, Ghislaine gets an interesting visit, declares that she never saw Trump do anything, and the next thing we know, she's getting special privileges? Yeah, it's looking real Seuss indeed.
In July, she had a 2-day interview with your deputy and President Trump's former defense attorney, Todd Blanche. Just days after that, Maxwell was transferred from a federal correctional institution in Florida to a minimum security camp in Texas, which she, as a sex offender, would normally be ineligible for. At this new facility, as the ranking member talked about, and by the way, it's nicknamed Club Fed.
It's giving Coverup. But somehow, the story even gets more bizarre, because Ghislaine has been showing a lot of audacity. For example, when she was in a deposition a couple of days ago, she refused to answer questions. The deposition was to identify co-conspirators and provide justice for victims, especially with more files being released by the DOJ. However, Ghislaine refused to answer the questions, instead choosing to plead the fifth. But then she got real bold and said that she would only answer the questions if President Trump offered her clemency and revoked her sentence. Basically, even though she's in a pretty cushy prison where she gets to play with puppies, she wants to walk and go back to living her life as if nothing happened.
But she should not be in that prison. And she needs to be moved back to a maximum security prison as soon as possible. But what she has told another committee here is that she won't cooperate with them unless she gets clemency from Donald Trump. It's just crazy to consider that she can be wielding this kind of influence within the administration. But that begs the question, who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please, can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all.
Now this is where things go from being weird to being downright insane. Y'all remember the prison worker who tried to blow the whistle, claiming that the woman serving time is not Ghislaine? Well, he also claimed that the administration is sneakily trying to get the woman out of prison before it leaks that it's a double, and the real Ghislaine is being protected. And as wild as it seems, it does kind of make a twisted sort of sense. Get a body double, pay her lots of money, and then have her do the time in a minimum security cushy prison. It's diabolical, but it's not surprising. Oh, y'all know how I said it got dark? Well, according to the reporter, the prison worker was found dead on prison grounds with stab wounds. Allegedly, the story being pushed is that he was shanked during a prison fight between inmates. Just a man being at the wrong place at the wrong time. However, people are calling BS on this and saying that he got taken out before he could spill the entire tea, which makes us wonder what else they're hiding. And that's what makes this whole thing so unsettling, because the more you look at it, the less any of it feels random. The strange transfers, the luxury perks, the political visits, the silence when questions get uncomfortable, and now a prison worker who allegedly knew too much ends up dead, with officials rushing to slap a neat little explanation on it. If nothing shady was happening, none of this would need explaining. If Ghislaine was just another inmate, she wouldn't be living better than most people on the outside. And if that whistleblower was lying, there'd be no reason for his story to end the way it did. But here we are, a woman who refuses to answer questions unless she gets clemency, a system that keeps rewarding her anyway, and a death that conveniently shuts down the loudest accusation of all. So the question isn't whether this story sounds crazy anymore. The question is, what else hasn't come out yet? And who benefits from keeping it that way? Because if someone really did pull off a prison swap, then the biggest crime might not be what happened years ago. It might be what's happening right now, right in front of everyone, while we're being told to look the other way.